ESPN Radio.
Two 813308004. Hit Mike Jones up on the low because Mike Jones about to blow. For the ice was in my crib, I got my major deal this year to give a damn if I was here.
Yeah. Well, you told the streets what your cell phone number is.
Yeah.
But you know we got to tell the streets.
We back up.
We back up. We are back up. We're here. We're talking about ladder matches this week as our stipulation journey continues. Looks good. Mike is muted. Okay, we're good. We're good.
We're in the building.
We're in the building. We're on camera. We are having some exciting things happen in the coming year. I can't wait to announce it. First, we got to announce before we get into ladder matches.
What's up?
November 29th.
Yep.
War Games Watch Along.
Can't wait.
Cannot wait for that. And then a few weeks later, are you going to join us for that, Ledbetter? War Games Watch Along?
When is that?
That is November 29th.
Maybe.
Are you going to join us on December 13th when we watch John Cena's last match?
Where are you doing that at?
Here. You're employed here.
We right here.
Not if I can't figure out how to work this thing.
All you got to do is turn the volume down. Not the mic. You turn the mic off and the volume down. He's doing the dad thing. Right?
I had it, but it reset on me.
Reset himself. Now it's resetting. All right.
I'm back up.
He's back up.
He's back up.
We need our bell back. I'm going to order one off Amazon.
We got to get our bell back, man.
Got to get it back. So we got Watch Along coming up November 29th for War Games Survivor Series. Then join us a couple weeks later. Actually, 2 weeks later, exactly. We're going to watch John Cena's last match together. What's your expectation for that, Ledbetter? What are you feeling about that?
It'll be a nostalgic night. I feel like they'll have they should not even have any other matches on the whole show.
I agree with that. I was thinking about that the other day.
It should just be video packages and callbacks and backstage segments and check-ins with him getting his gear on, which he probably already has on right now.
Yeah, the jorts.
Yeah. I would not have any other matches.
No other matches, just that. Kev, what are your thoughts?
If they do like a John Cena gauntlet.
A John Cena gauntlet.
Or like Battle War or Battle Royal or something like that.
That would be the only other match I would want is like a Battle Royal at the beginning of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Who would be in the gauntlet?
Let me see. Some of his greatest opponents. I mean, you probably throw HBK in there, but you already know he ain't gonna do nothing.
It is like 70.
What about Jesus? That's one of his greatest opponents.
Jesus.
Yeah, taking it back.
Threw you off.
That was
there you go.
Carlito's very first bodyguard right there. He had them high pants tore all the way up to his nipples.
Yes, he did.
You could open
like a jalapeno popper.
Yeah.
You could open it with Leviathan versus the Prototype.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
A little deep cut there.
Yeah, a little deep cut.
Yeah.
I'll say both of them go in with the shaved haircuts.
I think that would be ideal. Like, what was even that haircut? It wasn't a buzz cut. It was like the horseshoe haircut.
Yeah.
But it was like all the way around.
I liked it. It was almost like a video game.
It was. He looked like
Bradley Buzz cut.
Fake, like not even a real person. But I'm excited for it. We hope you join us. We'll be at War Games November 29th and then December 13th, of course, John Cena's last match. Today we're here to keep the stipulation bus rolling. We're going to talk about some ladder matches. Kev, educate our loving audience on what exactly a ladder match is.
So a ladder match, you either have one versus one or 2-on-2 or something like that. More the merrier on the ladder match.
Yeah,
really.
Climbing up a ladder, trying to get a belt, but it's not that simple. What you gotta do, you gotta start fighting people and make everybody get weak, and then go up that ladder, get the briefcase of the belt.
Yeah,
you're the winner.
You're the winner. Sarge, you got anything you want to add on to that?
I'm not a huge fan when it starts to get into that 6 to 8 people.
Yeah, too much.
I hate how in wrestling now where guys will just lay out for 15 minutes while two guys will do their spot.
Well, let's hold that thought because we're going to talk about what we hate here in just a moment. But so the point of a ladder match is it's one of those cool stipulation matches because like we talked about last week, like a steel cage match that's designed to cap a feud and the babyface to win, right?
Sure.
And then when it comes to something like the last man standing match or something to that effect, it could go either way. A ladder match is kind of like that too, right? Because you can. Let me ask you this before we even get into the weeds with this, as to what the point is. Do you think it's designed more for the babyface to win, or more for the heel to win, or what are your thoughts on like? Can it cap a feud? I don't think it can cap a feud anymore. If we're going to talk about like way back in the day, like Razor and Shawn at WrestleMania 10, and it was like the ultimate of the ultimate.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
I just think it's kind of like a way station on the way to the next gimmick match. What do you think, Kev?
Now it's just like, okay, like how you said, okay, we're going to do this ladder match and then, okay, cool, on to the next match.
Yes.
It doesn't cap off anything. I'm like, okay, we've seen this match like 2 times before. Why do we need to see this match again?
I feel you on that one. What are your thoughts?
I disagree with both of you.
Okay.
I think if booked properly and the storyline
produced properly, folks.
This is where you have to book the angle and then produce the match.
All right.
We're not going to get into
jargon,
that,
but you're right.
But anyway, if the story is about the championship,
okay,
and the championship is held up because of a controversial finish, and then you crown your new champion because you have to have the belt suspended in the air, and the only way to get it's held up, and then they're the undisputed champion. That could be the end of that feud.
Okay, I could totally see that because that's what Shawn and Razor was. You know, like there was controversy around the belt. We'll talk about that in a little bit later. But to your point, like you're talking about more the merrier. You're talking about like you don't like the crash and burn. It's evolved quite a bit over the years because it went from being something where it was 2 guys fighting over the ladder to get up the ladder and win. And now it's more about what sort of contraption can we build here and jump off of it?
What kind of furniture can we get involved
to get the crowd going? So that's really been kind of the evolution. Let's talk about it. Has this been beaten to death? Does a ladder match even really mean anything anymore? And to your point, I'm going to cut you loose right here, Sarge. Elaborate more on what you hate about a ladder match now.
So if you watch a ladder match on pay-per-view /PLE or on TV, if there's multiple guys, obviously the camera cannot pick up 8 guys wrestling at the same time.
Right.
So what they'll do a spot and then they'll lay out.
Yep.
Then the next 2 do a spot, they lay out. Then the next 4 do a spot, they lay out. If you were watching it live, you would have essentially an arena full of just bodies leaning on the apron, whispering to each other.
Yep.
While there's action taking place in the ring.
And
it's phony. It's phony.
And you have to do it like that because if you're fighting on the floor or shooting each other into the barricade, you're taking the audience's attention away from what's happening in the ring. So here's 2 dudes diving headfirst off the ladder, but if half the crowd's paying attention to what's going on the rampway, it's a wasted motion.
So to my point, if you're going to have to wait to do your spot, why can't you just have 2 dudes in the match and then they just do their stuff? Essentially, you're not actually taking advantage of having 8 or 10 guys in there because everybody's waiting their turn to do their spot. Now, it does work when you're having, 2 guys are climbing, 2 guys get dumped, and then 2 more guys get knocked over those spots. Those are cool because it makes sense. But if you're just laying there like a sack of potatoes, you might as well just have 2 guys wrestling.
So you don't like the whole everybody lay outside and wait for the whole wait for their move type of ordeal.
What did Nigel used to always say
about what?
When he would say something that was phony, he'd call it'd say it was pony.
Yeah, it's pony.
Yeah.
It's true. And it works on TV, I think. Like we're talking about SummerSlam. There was like 900 people involved in a 4-team ladder match. But it works on TV because like Ledbetter said, you've got 8 cameras focused on the ring. You can cut between the cameras. So as we're sitting there watching it, we're all like, okay, well, I'm into this. But then you have someone like, let's say, JD McDonough, and I know that's a couple WrestleManias ago. Do you remember when he took that big front flip, like over the top rope to the floor through the tables?
Yeah.
And then he laid there for like 14 minutes.
Yep.
Or whatever. It just, you're right, because it's just like the psychology's all messed up. One guy goes through a ladder, boom, he's back up in 2 minutes to get to the next spot. Other guy goes through a ladder, he's laying there for 45 minutes just doing nothing, counting Z's.
Do you remember the most recent Supercell that they did where so Punk did Cena did the pipe bomb,
yeah,
and they did the callback, and Punk had to lay there and sell for 15 minutes? Well,
it was terrible.
Yes.
Great promo. Great promo.
Not
great
the promo.
Him laying there for 15 minutes
It's
napping
ridiculous.
Was silly. They should have had
He said he was napping.
Yeah. I mean, they should have had medical come down and take him out.
But then they'll do a Swahili driver off the top of this building through a chair, and they'll kick out at 2.
2.
Yeah.
Right.
You ever use the Swahili driver?
No.
I'll show you that.
No.
Let's take it back, man.
I gave somebody Emerald Fusion.
Okay.
Ooh-wee.
On a chair. And this was like an independent show. And of course, the kid's like 120 pounds. So I was like, forget it. I'm just going to do Emerald Fusion right here. He's out of the match after this. He was back on his feet like 60 seconds later.
How?
I don't know. We can get into what we hate about wrestling one day, but just like nobody sells anything.
That's what I want to know. I want to do a show on that. I want to get y'all's opinion
on what we hate.
And some of my opinions too.
Yeah.
On what we hate about pro wrestling.
We pull an ambulance up here because I'll have an aneurysm about 45 minutes deep.
I'll tell you the things I love and hate. I won't just bury it, but there's just a lot of things right now that are
bad,
that are jacked up.
Bad. So do you think that the ladder match, in effect, has been beaten to death? Do you think they need to tuck it away for a while? Because I think, we could do a whole show. We kicked it around off the air. We could do a whole show on Money in the Bank. And I personally loved when Money in the Bank was just a straight up WrestleMania attraction match.
Yes.
They use it one time a year. It's at WrestleMania every time.
Mm.
And they do such a good job because they have time to build up to that. You don't know who's going to win. Like back in the day. Oh, is it MVP? Is it CM Punk? Is it Matt Hardy?
Yep.
Every single one of those people could have been like a legitimate Money in the Bank winner. And you built up to that. Now it's a pay-per-view, and there's 4 Money in the Bank matches? There's a Money in the Bank match every
They just
match.
do the men's and women.
Yeah.
Women's,
but don't they do tag too? Or
no,
is that
no
not all the time?
Tag. Please don't put that into
it.
They can't even book a tag division.
Don't put that either on me.
They start to do the Money in the Bank matches, but it seems like you already know who's going to win. My thing
Elaborate on that.
Like a long time ago when the Money in the Bank ladder match first started, it built new stars.
There you go.
You I think the first one was Edge, and then you had like CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
He won like 2 times, but he was still building. You know, he wasn't like that main event star that he is now. But you had Edge, you had CM Punk, you had like
Alberto Del Rio,
Daniel Sandow,
Ziggler.
Dolph Ziggler.
Wasn't Ziggler the only dude who lost on his cash in?
No, Baron Corbin, and Damian Sandow.
They both lost on their cash.
I thought Ziggler actually won when he cashed in.
Yeah, he did. He won.
Yeah,
he won.
Maybe I'm wrong,
but like I said, it built new stars.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, it's like you put in. Like, let's say you put in like somebody that you already knew was going to win.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, okay, cool. He's going up to the ladder. Oh, he might not win. Okay, he's about to win.
I think Ziggler cashed in on Del Rio.
Yeah, he did.
Like I said, we could do a whole Money in the Bank episode because that thing's. Can you believe Money in the Bank is 20 years old?
Really?
Jericho planted the seed in 2005, and that was the first Money in the Bank ladder match in 2005 WrestleMania.
That's when I graduated high school.
Ugh.
He's such a youngster.
Oh, yeah.
You are a youngster.
I am.
Are you going to DJ your 20-year reunion?
Well, you know what? It already happened.
Oh, it already happened.
Yeah,
okay.
It already happened.
Did you go?
I did. I went to the football game.
Did you sign autographs and stuff?
Nah.
Oh, come on.
Autograph.
You're a star.
Nah, I don't know about all that.
I do.
So you signed autograph.
I'm not. Well, you know what? got attacked at Five Below this weekend.
Really?
Some kid who was a little, not attacked, but like he was out. He comes up and he grabs my arm.
Oh.
And snatches me because I was there getting those exercise bands for, you know what I mean, for the warm up because I broke mine. And he grabs me and he's like, "You're a wrestler, aren't you?" And I was like, "Yeah, I love you." And I'm like, "What's my name?" Ben something. Close enough. I love you too, bud.
Tell the streets.
We're back up. I'm back up. All right, we got to go pay some bills. When we come back, we're going to talk about the beginning of the ladder match. There's a whole lot of wood and a whole lot of stampeding. We'll see you in a little bit.
Get a great deal on some Kubota construction equipment.
Kimera and Big Kev right here on 1410 ESPN Radio.
If only.
We are card
Hey, I moved.
subject to change.
Oh,
I was there.
different corner.
I'm Big Kev. He's Ben Kimera. He is Sergeant Ledbetter. And we are sponsored by Urkel O's. Steve Urkel's only cereal. I wanted to try so bad.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Let me ask you this, Kev. Did you have the Urkel doll?
I did have the
The
Urkel doll.
doll?
I did have the
I
Urkel
wanted
doll.
one, but I never. It was like a Cabbage Patch doll but
I know what it was. It was
Okay,
like
so
the
did you have it?
little penny. Now, I've seen them before. Did you
Little
have,
penny.
did you have the little penny doll?
Yes,
I had a little penny.
what was that from Inspector Gadget?
No, little
No,
penny.
Penny
Anthony
Hardaway.
Hardaway.
Oh,
little-
Penny Hardaway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
little
yeah.
penny was his like son,
Yeah.
Yeah.
little brother.
Yeah. I remember that from the commercials, right? It's like a claymation thing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you know the story on how he got the nickname Penny.
Was it from his grandma?
Yeah, his grandma used to call him
Mhm.
Little Pretty, but
Yeah, yeah.
he would try to repeat it, and he would say Penny. So then that was like what everybody thought his name was.
Remember how good Blue Chips was?
Oh my God,
Man.
loved it. Loved it. What?
Man, so good.
I was about to say.
All of those like mid-late 90s sports movies
Oh my
were
God.
like
So good. Blue
Like-
Chips, I could watch that every
the
time. it's
program,
Yeah, the program.
Unnecessary Roughness.
Any Given Sunday,
Jump.
Yeah.
White Man Can't Jump,
Oh man, I can watch that all day.
Field of Dreams,
Field of Dreams.
Angels in the Outfield,
Major League.
Major League.
Major
yeah.
League. So good.
Can't forget about Remember the Titans.
Remember the Titan? Was that in the
That was a
90s or
little later.
2000s?
Oh,
That was
yeah,
right.
a little
That was
later.
either right at the end of it, but that was a little later.
Still a great flick though.
Oh, I loved
Absolutely.
Real good.
it. Watched
Real
it at
good.
school one time. I'm like, ooh, this is dope.
I mean, I know we're getting off in the 90s, like Pulp Fiction, like saved movies.
Yes.
It was like, now I'm forced to make a good movie. You know what I mean? To compete with Pulp Fiction.
And it was so unique because it was out of order.
Yeah. The
It was.
non-linear. And then like in 2001, Fast and Furious came out, and that was like the end of it. You know what I mean?
And Ocean's 11.
And Ocean's 11.
All oceans.
So the cool thing about Pulp Fiction, and let's correlate this to wrestling.
Okay.
They gave away the finish.
Yes.
But you didn't know how they got there.
Mhm.
Imagine watching a wrestling match like that, where you just saw the finish, no context. You didn't know how those two even got to that point. And then would you be intrigued? Like, say you turned on Raw tomorrow. I know it's not Raw tomorrow, but let's just say you turned it
Yeah,
on.
no, I get what you're saying.
And it was CM Punk beating John Cena
Okay.
in the middle of the ring, but the title, he won the title.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And that's all you saw.
Mhm.
You'd want to know how Cena got the title, how Punk got a title shot, how there'd be so many questions.
But
I'd
they-
be intrigued.
But
Yeah.
that's what they did. That's what they did, and everybody complained about with Hogan and Brett.
Sure did.
The whole plan with Hogan and Brett was, wait a minute, how did Hogan even get in this match?
Yeah.
So you see all the replays or whatever, and it's I don't know, man. I'm with you but like I think we're gonna get into that space though, because it's like the more I watch WWE, the more I'm like, and I know this is off topic, like this ain't pro wrestling anymore, man. This is like a rock. It's a rock
Big
concert,
production.
a production. It's like it's like Barnum and Bailey Circus, man.
Pretty much.
Because you play the music.
The crappy music, the Duff Rebel.
Yeah, they play the music. The crowd sings along.
Yep.
There's shocking air quote moments, and the matches, like, I don't know that it's not that they're not good. There's just no heat behind them.
Mm-mm.
I look at like when you look at the picture, I know this is going to sound a little, out of pocket or whatever. When you look at a picture of Lyra Valkyria, you're like, okay, she's pretty. She's got the body. The gear's kind of cool. She can't talk, but like all of her matches are like super solid.
Mhm.
Why is it that she's on TV so much when nobody cares about her?
Well, the pretty part's debatable, but I will say
Well, what I mean is she's not like
she's baby.
she's not Bertha Faye.
She's babyface pretty.
right.
You took it back with the
She
Bertha
is
Faye,
girl next, huh?
You took it back with
Took
the
it back with Bertha Faye.
Golly.
And I love Rhonda
Rhonda
Sting. I think she's
Sting,
good,
yeah.
but go ahead. We interrupted you. I'm sorry.
No, you didn't interrupt me. We're just talking. The whole. I would tell you this right now. If it was up to TKO, there
Mhm.
wouldn't even be matches.
What do you think it'll be?
You would only have pay-per-view PLE matches.
Yep.
Raw and SmackDown would literally be a giant commercial with segments. There'd be vignettes and VTRs. It'd all be interactions. People would get beat up in the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
Most unsafe place in wrestling right now is the NXT parking lot.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
But,
true.
but you better have an armored car when you go through there, because there's always somebody getting laid out in that NXT parking lot.
I'll tell you what though. Would Raw and SmackDown be like another episode of Live Wire?
Yes,
Yeah.
I
like
think
the-
they really don't. One, they don't want these guys to get hurt.
Right.
And with the pressure they're getting from AEW to do more in the matches, these guys are going out and trying to do more.
Yeah.
But their bodies aren't used to it because they don't do house shows.
And I was about to say that too, because it seems like the house shows are like when you do more house shows, don't you get more reps and things like that. So you want to stay warm and things like that.
But you also
try new
risk the
things.
chances of getting
Right.
Something breaking or whatever. But here's the other side of that. And Ben will tell you, when we were more in our athletic prime, and we could do more athletic things in the ring, say springboards or come off the top rope or whatever. If you did it like 5 times a week compared to 1 time a month, guess what? You're going to be way better at it during that 5 times a week stretch.
Right.
That's the beauty of house shows.
Yeah. Not to brag, you remember how clean my 180 AA spine buster used to be?
Yeah.
I was considering switching that to my finish because that would always get the biggest reaction every time I would do it. I couldn't do that now. I'd blow both my kneecaps out, and not because of any other reason other than I've done that move 1,000 times. It's just time to let it go. And to your point about the house shows, when every main event dude is 45 years old,
true.
You can't have him on Monday Night Raw. You
can't have Punk wrestle every week.
Right.
Oh, no.
He's a Fabergé egg.
He's got to be on the Undertaker schedule.
Yeah. Now he has put a little bit of size back on.
Yes.
But you can work out all you want. One thing you can't really work out, you can't work out your knees and you really can't work out your hips.
Yep.
You can build the muscles around those areas, but right now I have pretty strong legs and I tap on my leg and it's right to my knee bone.
Yep.
There is no way to build that.
I have a question for y'all real quick. Excuse me. So you in the wrestling ring and you land on your knees. Is there like a secret to try to not hurt your knees?
I'll answer first for Ben. He wears about 5 sets of knee pads.
It's true.
Because his knees are that bad.
Yeah.
I have a sleeve that goes from my calf all the way up my thigh. And then I got a sleeve that goes over that. And then I got the AMA pads with the built-in side thing. Because just like him, if you put your finger, and I'm not going to have you do it, but if you put your finger right next to my kneecap, you can almost get your finger underneath my kneecap.
Mine's not that bad, but my point was you have no protection for your knees. When I see guys wrestle without knee pads, I'm just like, brother,
how does that happen?
I already know you're under 30 years old. Because if you were above the age of 30, you'd have a set of knee pads on.
Yeah.
And I tell them all the time, I don't care what your gimmick is. I don't care if you're like an old school vaudevillain or whatever.
Yeah.
Get a small little set of knee pads, something. You'll thank me later.
And I see all those old school cats. They used to do that too. Just not wear knee pads in the ring.
Yep.
And they just constantly landing on
I've
their
talked to
knees
Bobby Fulton about that. I asked him why. He said it was a sign of weakness if you wore knee pads to those wrestlers that they came up with.
Yeah.
The George Hackenschmidts and all those guys.
They weren't even running I didn't mean to interrupt you, but they weren't even running the ropes. I'm going to get you in a snap mare and a leg scissor, and we're going to hold that for 4 minutes out of the 20 minutes of our match.
No.
We're going into a shine where I'm usually getting dumped out of the ring to embarrass me or whatever. So I'm going either over the top rope or I'm going through the middle rope. My knees are hitting the apron and then my knees are hitting the concrete because I'm spilling out to the floor. Then I get back in the ring. Then I got to put a heat on them. So I got to follow them around. And then we go into the comeback and the finish. I like to have what I like to call the main event style of match where it's like we're trading false finishes.
Yeah.
I hate the clothesline like that. They've already seen it probably 4 times on the night.
Right.
So we're going to have a different set of comebacks. Like, bam, you hit me with 2 clotheslines. You hit me with a big one, 1-2 kick out. You hit me with another big one, 1-2 leg on the ropes. Go to feed. I hit you with a big one, 1-2 you kick out. You know what I mean? Like it's a back and forth building up to the finish, but that's a lot of high impact. Do you know what I mean? And plus I got to be stable enough. Yeah. Impacting your knees is a lot. And I'm sorry if I'm dominating the conversation, but how many times do we have to catch somebody?
Right.
The whole reason that, and I'm not saying this like I'm old, so I've gained a bunch of weight, but the whole reason I've stayed heavy is because I got to catch everybody. Like when everybody wants to do these dives and it's like, okay, that's cool. Who's going to catch you? Right.
One of the best compliments I got recently was in the gym. One of the trainers was like, "Man, you're starting to get pretty built." And I said, "Yeah, I gotta stay big and strong. I gotta be able to catch these dudes. Everybody wants to dive and jump and flip, and I have to be able to protect myself. I can't have somebody flying at me and I go to catch them and they hit me and I drop them.
Right.
Then I look like a goof, and then they're going to say, "Well, why are you even wrestling? You can't even catch a dive." Any mark can catch a dive.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Anybody can catch a dive, but you have to be able to protect somebody. You know what I mean? Like the person diving has to give you the bulk of their body and target you with the bulk of your body so you can catch them. There's plenty of times where, and you could probably attest to this too, a dude will come flying at me and I'll literally have to play center fielder. I'll have to like pump backwards and catch him because they jump over my head.
Look at Willie Mays Hayes.
Or they fall.
Yeah.
You probably saw that a million times at Rockstar because every stupid match had a dive to it.
Everyone.
So if they fall, you got to run up and catch them. Otherwise, they're going head first into the concrete.
Yeah, and most of them don't know. They don't practice it enough. They just know they can do the motion.
Right.
And they rely on you to bail them out.
Catch them. Right.
And it goes back to ladder matches. I've been in probably realistically, I'm not going to say 50 ladder matches, probably 20 to 25 ladder matches I've been in. And most of them are less than 4 or less people. So you can control what's going on. I have been in a few 6 person. I've been in an 8 person recently, and we had an issue.
Yeah.
We could tell that story if we want. It's pretty good. So in a 4 or let's go singles ladder match. Okay. You can control everything that goes on.
Yep.
The only problems you'll have is in the back when the genius wants to do something that breaks the ladder.
Right.
And we talked about that off air. What do you do when you break a ladder in a ladder match and you've only got one because it's an indie promotion? This isn't WWE where you've got 8 more that you can go grab.
I like when they used to pull the apron up and there was like 50 ladders stacked up.
It looks like Home Depot.
Yeah. But it is for the exact reason of you could break up to 2 or 3.
Well, they're probably using them anyway.
Yeah.
They're setting lights up. They're doing production stuff. They probably use those ladders anyway.
Oh, no doubt.
But if you have people going rogue in a ladder match, buddy, you got problems.
Yep.
Because you can't stop it. It's happening on the indies. There's not as much laying out. Like on a PLE where we talked about how it's a move and then they lay out. Indie shows, Kev, you've seen ladder matches with multi-men.
Yep.
Everybody's doing stuff.
Yep.
So as a fan, you got fighting over here. These guys are in the ring. These guys are on the barricade, right?
Yep.
It's like I'm in the fear of missing something.
So if you got a guy going rogue,
you got to sounds so bad.
Do you want me to tell you who it was? I'm well aware.
Oh, I'm well aware.
Yes, I'm well aware
that it was him.
And he wants to run right up the ladder and no sell everything. The whole match. Just wants to run like a video game. So a guy, I won't mention his name, but I looked at him and I said, "Get him, please." And he literally snatched him up and took him over to the farthest point of the arena and stuffed him like Kevin Nash right through a table.
Wow.
I love it.
Now, here's the best part. I'm on the apron selling. I'm watching this 50 feet away from me. I'll be damned if Well Aware didn't beat me up the ladder. He jumped up from the other side of the arena and ran at a full sprint back to the ring and beat me up the ladder. And I had to shove him off.
What's the point?
Wow.
What's the point of him?
It's this new generation.
It's
a new generation.
It's a new day.
It's a new day.
So, speaking of new generation,
yeah.
Do we want to talk about Razor and
we're getting there, but we got to talk about the beginning.
But
we got into the weeds. No, I love these conversations are the best.
We get in the weeds.
So all good. We come back. We'll continue our ladder matches started out real weird, but we're going to talk about that first. We'll see you in a little bit.
Frauding government is a crime, and it robs taxpayer dollars.
Yeah, that's why we can't do it.
We are card subject to change, and we are sponsored by Rice Krispie Treats cereal. Man, what y'all know?
Now,
about
let me
that?
ask you this about the Rice Krispie Treats cereal.
What's up?
What milk did you put in it? Because I never had it,
Ooh.
but there was a debate. I remember when it came out. Is it chocolate milk you put in that cereal, or is it like white whole milk?
I just put in whole milk.
Yeah,
I
white
was,
milk.
I was telling to do just put in whole milk, but I did hear the debate about what was either chocolate milk or whole milk.
Chocolate milk or whole milk. Sometimes they
I
throw you a
haven't-
curveball and say strawberry, like strawberry quick.
Yeah. I haven't tried the chocolate milk.
No,
Uh-uh.
you got a homework assignment this
I
weekend.
got a homework or something. If I can find some Rice Krispie Treat cereal and get some chocolate milk,
Do it.
it's going down.
Do it, because next time we come here, I'm gonna have better made chips and some better
I
made
was gonna
snacks.
ask you about that.
Yeah.
I'm going.
You know,
to
it
the
sounds
football
like
game.
the name sounds like a generic brand. It sounds like
It does sound like it.
like Better Save or
I
Like
kid
the
you
Walmart
not.
brand chips.
yeah,
If you
value
look-
brand.
If you look up Better Made, every year they win every award for best snack foods.
Okay.
It's I don't know. It's like crack, man. Like they have potato sticks,
Yeah.
chips, peanut butter pretzels.
Sold out. Oh man.
And what's a weird product they make that's better than any I've ever had, but they don't make any other candy? They make this incredible red licorice. It's like old school 1920s real
Interesting.
licorice. I'll bring you some. I'll bring you some.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll bring you guys some. You owe me a bunch
I'm
of
not
money,
a big
but
fan of the pretzel sticks or the potato sticks.
all right. No potato sticks for you, though.
I don't like those. My hands are too big. I
It's
also
tough.
don't like the steak and shake fries because of that.
They are real hard. You got to eat them with a fork.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
You really
I'm
do.
on.
That's out on that one.
If I have to eat any food with, Sarah makes fun of me all the time because I'll eat everything with my hands if I can.
Same.
We're talking everything from vegetables to baked potatoes. Like I'll use my hands. She makes fun of me, but
Baked potatoes
we
with
could-
your
That's a
hands.
military thing, though, right?
it is a military
Like
thing.
you got what, 10 minutes to chow?
Yes.
So you're just scooping
Yep.
it up like a polar bear.
Yep. You ain't got time to
Yep.
even get the utensils out. That's a lot of work, and you just wasted time.
Terrible.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
But thank you for your service.
Thank
You're welcome.
you.
That's why they call me the saw.
I did a little better.
A little better.
We promised people we talk about ladder matches, so I guess we got to do that. So,
before
Well,
that,
go ahead.
you know you got to put that at the beginning of your music, right?
What the
Yeah.
the sound bite? Yeah, I need to
Yeah.
do that. We'll get the Kev sound bite for that.
Let's do it.
I like it.
So back in the day, before wrestling was a worldwide global phenomenon that it is, there were places chopped up in the North America. And I say North America because Mexico had territories. We're talking about territories. You had, AAA in Mexico, CMLL, and in America you had, we'll even go later in the game because this is about the time we're talking about. You had like World Class, you had like Bill Watts, you had, Bosch, you had Tootsmont. There's a deep cut. Tootsmont. There's a deep cut. But in Canada belonged to the Hart family.
Mhm.
And everybody knows Bret. Everybody knows Bret Hart. Most people have heard of Owen Hart, but the territory was called Stampede Wrestling.
Yes, sir.
And then all the Hart boys worked, didn't they? All
Yes,
of them
yeah,
did.
all of them.
Yeah.
Pillman and Owen were the last two
Yes.
to come
Students
out of there.
that came out of the
Yeah.
Hart Dungeon is notorious wrestling training school. And if you guys look at the Wrestling of Shadows DVD, I mean, there's no ring.
Yeah,
It's just
crazy.
mats.
Yeah,
And they're just but can you even think of a lemon that came out of Stampede or the Dungeon?
oh no,
All the wrestlers were just so good, fundamentally sound. And Stu was great.
Maybe Tiger Ali saying.
Well, Tiger was good as his son. Well, are we talking about his son?
Tiger Ali.
Ali is the son.
Is the son.
He was terrible. He was terrible.
Yeah.
Jeet was good though.
Yes.
Yeah, he was good.
So they come up with the idea for a ladder match, and the first one was between Dangerous Dan Crawford and Tor Kamada. He's a Japanese wrestler, and it was over a bag of money. It wasn't a belt. It was not a belt.
Wrestlers like money.
Wrestlers like money, but at the time, the territories were making so much money. Like you remember the Body Slam Challenge with Andre and Big John Studd?
Yeah.
Those money matches actually drew interest because it was legitimate. Like we couldn't do that now because nobody believes we have like 30 grand in cash laying around.
I'm about to say that's what's missing right now, the money matches.
So there was a Fed I wrestled for out in Peebles, West Union out there. They did a $5,000 tournament.
Yeah.
And but it got a lot of interest because it was only $5,000. Obviously, you didn't win $5,000, but they had the big, Publishers Clearinghouse check.
Yeah, and then Lucky Mongolian Stopper wasn't on the show.
Right.
He'd have won that. He'd have cashed it.
Tried to cash. He legitimately cash. You will cash this.
He did it because the bank teller recognized him and said,
"That's wild."
Well, I've told that story on air before.
That's wild. That's great.
Do you remember that, Kev?
Yeah.
So they have this match, but here's where it goes sideways. It's the ladder to climb up and get the bag of money is one of those wood paint ladders.
Wow.
So not only did it hurt to hit each other with the thing, it broke.
Yep.
Terrible.
Jeez.
Absolutely terrible. But the idea was good and it was fresh because back then in wrestling, we didn't beat people to death with gimmicks and stipulations and stuff like that. There's only like, if you remember, this is way long ago, a tag match used to be a gimmick match.
Yep.
There was no such thing as a tag division. If you wanted to, in wrestling, we call it steal a house, where you wanted to promote, okay, here's two big main event wrestlers on a card, but they're usually rivals, but they're going to be a team against these other two evil wrestlers.
Right.
That was a gimmick. Go ahead. You're going to say something.
Well, no,
Sorry.
I was going to say that's kind of how the Mega Powers came together.
Yes.
Because it was a common, you had the two biggest baby faces in the company and they happened to just help each other.
Mm-hmm.
And they were friends in real life, but that always didn't matter. Just because you were friends with somebody in real life back then did not necessarily mean that they were going to work with them on TV.
Right.
Not all the time.
But Hogan changed that game.
Yes.
Oh, no.
It's me versus all my buddies. But so, and then World of Sport. And man, I love World of Sport. You guys like World of Sport?
I loved it.
I love World of Sport. I love Johnny Saint versus Rollerball Rocco with the European style rules.
Yeah.
But they tried to do the same thing, but it was for a solid gold disco record. If you look this thing up it's literally the plaque.
Really?
I don't remember. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? It's the framed plaque with the disco record. And I don't remember even who was in the match. I just looked at pictures earlier and I was like, but they're still using the wooden paint ladder.
Yeah.
And so folks, if you go to like Walmart, you buy a fiberglass ladder and you look at it, it says weight limit 190 pounds. My left leg is 190 pounds.
No, you're right. It's unsafe.
Do you ever climb up those ladders and it starts to creak and you're like,
No. On my card at work, I have fat guy approved 300-pound rated ladders.
There you go.
There you go.
Boom, there it
I'm
is.
doing the 225s. They're a little bit too wobbly for me.
That's not good. Falling down off a ladder is not great. But Bret Hart really kind of embraced this, and he was kind of like, we talked about how Khali had the Punjabi prison, Undertaker has the casket match, and Stampede, Bret was known as the ladder guy. And it was because this is when he had that pea soup green gear.
Yeah.
Remember that? It was hideous. It was totally heinous. It was awful.
I couldn't picture him in any other color.
But pink.
But pink, yeah.
It's
He
kind of
wore
weird.
blue for
He
Lou.
did. Didn't he have a metallic gray set, like a gunmetal set, or am I misremembering that?
Not sure.
Because he had a set because on his regular gear it was pink and black and white, but then some of them had that gunmetal trim. Do you know what I'm talking about on the legs?
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Do you have a whole gunmetal set or not really? I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Don't remember at all. So I'm gonna have to do a deep dive on that to see if he had one.
I think it was.
But he did like alternate. I don't even remember. Do you have a white set?
He had an all pink set in.
I know he had an all pink set. He had an all black set, or like the black with like was it like the paint splashes?
Yeah.
You know,
I
the pink
that.
ones.
They made a figure of that.
That was this guy with the figures.
Yeah, that's how I can remember a lot of stuff is because of the figures.
Because the figures were good, but like people were just kind of like, They didn't do that much with the ladder, but still, because it was so fresh and new and exciting, it was so cool to see them fight over the ladder, but they weren't really using it as a weapon. Do you think that, like, when Bret Hart, Mr. Technique of the Technique, came up with this idea, do you think he ever sits back now at like 70 years old and looks at the stuff on TV and is like, I hate myself for doing this?
I would say so.
What do you think?
I think when he watches wrestling now, he hates it.
What do you think he hates the most about it?
Because he's just going to say they're not as good as the wrestlers that he came up with, because they're all too flashy and phony looking. That's mainly what he would say.
I don't mean to get in the weeds with that, but like,
yeah, we could do an hour.
We could do like a blame game, but like we were talking before, like off the air, like basically WWE, it will be a rare thing for them to sign an indie guy now.
Right.
It's like, oh, this guy plays D1 football. This girl's a D1 gymnast. This girl's a blah, blah, blah. Or this guy's a blah, blah, blah.
They don't have the mindset of a wrestler.
Right.
What's the deal?
You can teach that.
You can teach
it. Teach that, but
there's always something missing, though, isn't there?
Yeah. There is. There's always something. It always seems like it's forced.
Yes.
Gable Stevenson. Prime example.
Gable Stevenson. All the potential in the world. Good looking. Jacked. Great amateur wrestler. That guy could have been the next Lesnar. He just didn't get it.
Nope.
And I feel like bad saying this because she was going to be on the show before WrestleMania, but she missed her flight. Every time I watch Tiffany Stratton, I'm just like, what do you think? Like, I always look at her and I'm like, someone's clearly just telling her what to do.
Oh, no doubt.
You know what I mean?
No doubt.
Eventually, though, she'll hear it enough. She'll hopefully be able to
catch on.
Yeah.
Make it look. That was Bret Hart's biggest thing. And I think going back to, obviously, keep it to the frame of the ladder match. When you and I fight, it looks like a struggle.
Yeah.
We're struggling against each other. I've got my hands around your neck. You've got the back of my head and you're punching my face. We're in a confrontation.
Yeah, it doesn't look like two ballerinas out there,
right?
That prancing around, prancing around.
Right.
It doesn't look like that at all.
Like, but then you watch these wrestlers now, and as it pertains to the ladder match, and this is where we get into it, because you go back and watch the stuff with Stampede and Bret, it's like, I'm fighting you over the possession of the ladder.
Right.
Then once I get it, I'm going to set it up. And then you're going to knock me off of it rather than, here, let me put 4 ladders together, stack 4 ladders on top of that, and then I'm going to go crashing through it.
Like playing Legos or something. Ladder match Lego.
Playing ladder match Legos. That's pretty good. But, you know, the first, to get to Razor and Shawn, which we should just get into right now, the first ladder match was an Intercontinental Championship match between Bret and Shawn. It was on a house show.
Yeah.
Now you've got the DVD hookup, and so do you.
Yeah.
It was the Whack'em Smack'em video.
Yep.
And then later it was on the ladder match DVD, I believe.
Is it on the ladder match DVD?
It's on either that or the Shawn DVD they put out. It's on one of them as an extra.
What you guys think of that match?
I like that match.
Yeah.
And that was one of the Smack'em Whack'em. That was one I told you about with Yokozuna.
Yes. Yep.
That was the one I told you about.
But
yeah, I like that match. It was that was like the very first time I've seen a ladder match in the WWF.
I wish they put that stuff on the network. They seem to like chop it up now, and spread it out. But like, I remember they put out one, Wrestling's Greatest Bloopers, but it was just like guys getting dumped over the top rope and like tumbling to the floor. Obviously it wasn't a blooper, but if you were trying to make it look real, then it was a blooper.
Right.
What are your thoughts, Sarge?
I haven't watched the ladder match, the non-televised one. One thing I want to add about those non-televised matches, the crowds were always weird because it was always like the post-dark match, and the crowds were always kind of either wore out or like they knew nothing was going to happen.
They already saw what they came to see.
Yes,
pretty much.
So now it's like you're tacking something on there that's not really. It's kind of like back, this is right before I started wrestling. It was a house show at Joe Louis Arena, and it was a Sunday night heat taping.
You're gonna lose me, by the way, on video.
Oh no!
Yeah. Battery issues.
I'm gonna plug this in for a little.
Going.
All right,
I'll get it going.
Okay.
Keep going.
But your mic is still on. So they were like, stay tuned. Like there was a main event was like X-Pac versus Ken Shamrock or something like that.
Yeah.
But then, like,
was that off the air or
no, that was on the air. That was the main
okay.
event of Sunday Night Heat.
Yeah.
But then after the match, it was Undertaker, Kane, Ken
What year
Shamrock.
was
This
this?
is 99.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Ish. This is, and then it was like all of DX versus like Undertaker, Kane, Ken Shamrock. There was one more.
So the corporation versus DX.
Yeah, right. But people were into that because it was the star power. It was Austin. It was with the Austin was with the baby faces because DX was like the heels at the time. And people were real into that. But to your point on the whack 'em smack 'em stuff, if you've already, how do you follow that up with, whatever, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, my thing was, like I said, that was the very first WWF ladder match that like there was. So my thing was, okay, this was almost like a blow-off match.
Mm-hmm.
This is where the ladder match became like the blow-off match.
Yeah.
Between the rival.
Mm-hmm.
Now it was just like, okay, we're gonna have a ladder match just because.
Just because, right? It was like before it was a huge build, and now there's not. And there was such a great build until like the HBK Razor, WrestleMania 10 thing, because you had Shawn, who was the fake champion. Razor was he injured or suspended? What was it? Suspended. Yeah. Was it a real suspension or was it?
It was a real suspension that they played off as a fake suspension.
Got it. So he was really suspended, probably for alcohol issues. Shawn was the interim champion, and they both had a belt. And then the match was a ladder match for who could ever get both belts down, which was unprecedented. But man, we were just talking about it before the show. Now, if you watch that match, you'd be like, "Oh, this is kind of boring." The audience would be like, "Whatever." But I love it. What did you said you love it?
I still like it. I've watched it recently. I like it better than the modern ladder matches.
Yeah, me too.
I like the pacing.
Yeah,
you can digest everything. The spots are very simple, but also they use the ladder.
Yes.
And they don't use it in a phony kind of way for gymnastics. They actually use it as a weapon, but they do it in a way where you can all relate.
Mm-hmm.
If I set your head on the apron and I put the ladder and then I baseball slide and I hit the ladder into your head, everybody in the arena can relate to that.
Yes. You're
very
right.
simple.
And they didn't even really do anything gymnastic there until the end where Shawn rode the top of the ladder down on Razor's chest.
Oh, I loved it.
That crowd went nuts for that.
I loved it. Never seen that before.
Nuts. It was pretty wild. But all right, I guess we got to go pay some bills. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
We'll continue talking about it because there was some really good stuff here. I actually think this match was what some of Razor's like best work.
Oh, yeah.
As far as like selling goes. We'll talk about that more in a little bit. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal
Kimera and Big Kev, right here on 1410 ESPN Radio.
We are card subject to change. Second hour.
We're too legit.
We legit quit, baby. You already know what's going down, man. Plus, we are sponsored by one of my favorite spots growing up, the Salem Mall.
Wow.
What was great about the Salem Mall?
The Salem Mall, I grew up in Trotwood, so
yeah,
the Salem Mall had everything that you could ever think of in a mall. You had like J.C. Penney, Sears. It was one of my spots to get some chicken wings from at the Chinese spot.
They had bullets.
No, they ain't had no bullets.
So you know what I miss from the mall?
What's up?
I don't know if Annie still does it. They'd have the hot dog with the pretzel. They still do that at the mall?
I'm the wrong person to ask.
They don't. Let me see. Oh wait, Annie's they don't have that right now.
That's
but they
sad.
do. They still do have them pretzels. And them pretzels are baller.
The pretzels are good, but I remember the
yeah.
hot dog with the pretzel. It wasn't a bun. It was like
It was.
I
a
thought,
pretzel, yeah.
who did the croissant? The croissant hot dog.
Oh shoot!
Somebody made those.
pigs
too.
in a blanket. Yeah,
Yeah, I know you can get them at Dave & Buster's.
Yeah.
Dave & Buster's is awesome.
Yeah.
Is it better than C75 though?
If you want to get hammered, Dave & Buster's is better.
True.
I'm not a
Son
big
likes
drinker.
Dave & Buster's better.
Yeah, Dave & Buster's has like the cool, like that sniper game with like the real gun.
Yeah,
That's that Star Wars arcade game where you get to like sit in the pod racer thing.
Mhm.
That's the good stuff.
Oh,
I don't know
man.
if that's a Teen 75 though. We're all 4 years old on this show, by the way. we're all pushing 50, but we're intellectually 14.
That's something like that.
That's something like
38.
that. Hey, you know what?
Kev's pushing 40.
Yeah, I'm
Kev's pushing 40. I'm pushing 62.
I'm pushing 50.
You're pushing 50. I'm 62 years old, so
There it is.
it's what it is. All right, so back to HBK and Razor. Man, that was so good, but like the finish was good. I loved Razor knocking him over. He gets tied up in the ropes in his leg.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Then he gets free, slip. This is how good Shawn Michaels is. He gets free and ties his arm up.
Right.
You remember that?
Yes.
Genius finish, gets both the belts, big hurrah, legendary match.
That fall that Razor Ramon did when he grabbed them belts.
Uh-huh. That had to hurt.
Right on his hip, right?
Right?
Right.
Yeah, he landed
Yeah.
sideways on his hip. And keep in mind, Razor, everybody thinks Razor's like a mid-sized dude because
No.
he's always standing next to Hogan and Nash.
Nash, yeah.
Dude was 6'7"
Yeah.
and 300 pounds.
About 285.
Falling from a 10-foot ladder on your hip at that weight, no good.
Craziness.
I took a power bomb off the top of a ladder, like a sunset power bomb off a ladder. I thought I was going to die.
Wow.
I
Got
thought
your
I
guys
was
called
gonna die.
AAA to get him up.
Yeah, well, thank God. Thank God that was the last thing I was doing in the match because I like rolled out to the floor. It was not.
Did you sell for 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh,
It was a shoot sell.
They finished the match.
Well, to get in a funny like sideways story about it, this was Montgomery County Fairgrounds, right? They double booked the main venue where we typically wrestled.
Oh, wow.
So we had to go wrestle in the pig barn.
Ooh.
So we had to go crack all the doors open, sweep it was not great.
I bet.
Still a decent crowd, but it was not
company?
phenomenal. It's HWA.
Okay. Because, ROH ran there a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's another story.
Those chairs. Now, Kev, listen to this. Did you ever go to ROH at Montgomery County Fair?
I never did.
So you had to sit perfectly in the chair.
Mhm.
If you moved any direction, that chair could just completely disintegrate.
Yes.
Oh,
They were
man.
those little chintzy plastic ones with the little rivets.
Yep. I had that happen to me before.
Very scary.
I've had that happen to me
Ridiculous.
before, and it sucked.
Yeah.
My first ROH show there, it was me and Sean Osborne versus Foreign Intelligence, Allah and Quentin.
Ooh.
And then at the end of the match, Homicide's supposed to come out and give us all the cop killer. And he looks at me and Sean. He's like, "You guys just run away." He couldn't
Right.
physically give us the cop killer because he was
Almost
came
has
up
like
with my
5
elbows.
foot tall.
Yes,
too.
yeah, he couldn't. He was.
Kev, did you ever go to the DCW shows when they ran at the chicken barn up there?
Yes.
Yeah, that was terrible for us.
Yes.
We'd have to sweep chicken poo out of the way to have a
Yep.
place to sit in the locker room.
Yep. awful. But that's independent wrestling, folks, and that's why we love it.
Yep.
I want to take a little segue to talk about, man, you know who had some good ladder matches? WCW.
They did.
And they were weird because it was like Scott Hall versus Bam Bam Bigelow for the United States Championship.
Yeah.
That was a good match.
With no reason that they did a ladder match other than
it was
Just
Russo.
Russo.
It was Russo.
Yep. All Russo.
Just do it.
Bro, Bam Bam.
Bro. Well, Goldberg had a ladder match with who did he have a ladder match? Was it Scott Norton? It was a very unusual pairing. It was you talk about something, I'm gonna look it up.
So the WCW matches I always remember would be something on a pole.
Yeah.
That was Russo's
Always
deal.
and that's either a turnbuckle or a ladder.
Yeah.
Bagwell
They would do the Viagra on a pole match
Viagra on
with
a pole.
Shane Douglas and Billy Kidd.
Why would you do that?
Because it's Russo, and they did
Yes.
the whole angle where they shot the pre-tape where they were in the hotel room and Shane couldn't get it up. Remember?
Yeah.
So that's where they set the angle up. That is like a Russo.
So here's a good one. Bret Hart versus Goldberg versus Scott Hall versus Sid Vicious in a ladder match, a 4-way ladder match with Kevin Nash as the special guest referee. You want to talk about a hat on a hat on a hat?
All friends wrestling.
All friends wrestling, baby. All friends.
So who won that? What was, was it for the heavyweight title?
It was a
or
less than 5-minute match.
was it for the heavyweight title?
Yeah.
See, that could have been like
It
a
doesn't
main
even have
event.
the
That could have been a
finish on
Starcade main event.
How do you have
Yeah.
a special referee in a ladder match?
Exactly.
It didn't even go 5 minutes.
Nash was the commissioner, I think, at the time.
Yeah.
Then we got Filthy Animals versus Boogie Nights, and I hate that I love Alex Wright so much. What a
Alex
wasted
Wright is so underrated.
opportunity.
I just love them as a team.
Berlin was amazing, and then they
Yes.
flushed it all down the
Loved
toilet.
it.
I'm trying to find this match. Jarrett versus Benoit. That was probably pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
That was probably really
I
good.
remember that one.
Eddie Guerrero versus X-Pac.
Oh,
That
yeah.
sold
that-
out
yeah,
97. That was a
good
banger.
one. Yeah.
That was a good one. Goldberg versus Scott Hall. It sold out 99.
Yeah, I remember that because it was the
And it
the
was-
taser.
It was good. It was a taser on the pole.
Yeah.
The ladder match
Oh,
was for the taser.
Okay.
But it was a good match. Dusty Rhodes versus Tully Blanchard.
Dusty
at
Rhodes.
Great
Now,
American
that I definitely
Bash.
don't remember them doing a ladder match.
Goldberg and Scott Bam Bam.
What Starcade was that?
Let
Or
me
Great
go back
American
here.
Bash?
Come on, dude.
87?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Eighty-
Okay,
87.
I think I do remember that.
7/18/87. That's a Great American.
They probably did it
Bash.
30 times on the lead up to
Right.
that, too.
But I think the one that really kind of sticks out as the best one, and they do have it ranked on here as the best one, it was a 3-way.
Was it the Young Dragons?
Young Dragons
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
excellent.
versus 3
I already knew what you were about to
versus
say.
Jamie Noble and Evan Courageous.
Yep, I already knew what you were
That
about
was
to
the
say.
beginning of like the stunt era.
Yep.
Yeah.
But holy cow, was that such a
Well, they were trying to duplicate what
Yeah.
the Hardys and them were doing.
Yeah.
Almost right
All
after
through
the
the
Hardys, the Terry Invitational was
Yeah.
that match you just said.
And
Because
they-
what was the date on that?
12/17/2000.
Also,
it was right there.
so
Right around
a
that time.
year later, probably. Then, yeah.
But you remember they were building like the bridges. They put the 3 ladders and they build like the bridges of the
Yeah.
ladders in between each other, and they'd be like running across it. I mean, don't you ever fantasize about being like a wrestler and like 5'8" and 100 pounds and all the cool stuff you can do?
Sometimes. And then I realized that I wouldn't want to get thrown around like that all the time
Yeah.
either.
And then you're retired after like 6 years of wrestling or whatever.
Right.
Bless you, Kev.
Oh, thank you.
Bless
Woo.
you. But yeah, those were like this list here. Those are some really good matches, and it's kind of like you look at like WCW back then, and it's like it's just an embarrassment of riches.
It is.
Like how much talent did they have that was probably just sitting at home at the Lazy Boy, getting their $6,000 weekly check?
Brad
man.
Armstrong.
Brad
Just
Armstrong,
sitting at home,
incredible performer.
collecting a check.
But you know, those young and hungry cruiserweights there towards the end, man, those guys, all these dudes were at HWA all
Yeah.
from that match. You know, Jamie Noble, Evan Courageous, you know, obviously Jimmy Yang, Kaz, all of those guys were at HWA. I think that matches like this saved their jobs. I think
Oh,
that's why
no.
they got kept,
Absolutely.
because
They knew they could get the car crash match.
right. And I think, you know, X-Pac's a lot bigger than you think he is.
Yeah.
But he's considered by Vince a light heavyweight at 6'1" and like 210.
Right.
He about 220.
He's a big dude.
Yeah.
The Hardys are a lot bigger than you'd think that they are.
Jimmy
too.
Yang's not a little guy.
He's not little.
He's
either.
really not.
He's 5'9", but he's
solid.
He's a big dude, but like, as far as the car crash goes, I think you hit the nail on the head. Like, we're going to keep all these dudes, and then I don't know. We can get into the weeds on that one, but I think they should have just canceled SmackDown and made it Thunder, or
they should have done that, because that would have been better TV right there. Because it seemed like at that time, most of the stuff that was going on, you already seen on Monday, because this is like way before the brand split. So you will see a world heavyweight championship match. You will see that on Monday, and then sometimes you probably see the same thing again on SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
If you was to have another WCW show, more eyes would have been to it.
I agree with that.
Vince would have never let it happen.
Never
He
would have.
bought it. He bought it to say that he killed it. Period.
The worst is
My creation.
Yeah.
The worst. It's still like, I don't want to say boils my blood. It just baffles me to this day. $1.8 million for the whole thing,
the whole shebang.
Yeah,
but you had to inherit all those contracts.
Yeah, there's that part of it. But like at that point, Hogan was still married. Hogan could have bought it. Hogan and Flair probably could have got together and bought it. Jericho probably could have bought it. Bischoff could have bought it. Like all that stuff could have happened. But it was at the end there. The cruiserweights, the ladder matches, those were kind of like the only bright spot, really.
Vince being Vince.
Conspiracy theory time.
Oh, there we go.
Vince paid more than $1.8 million.
You think so?
Yes.
What do you
that
think?
was the number that they put on paper to screw with everybody.
Yeah.
And that'll never be proven. But there's no way that company didn't say, you know what, Bischoff, you give us $5 million, you can have it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Vince told them, I'm sure, this is the number that we're going to put on paper. But I don't care who offers what. I will pay $1 more than anybody that offers. I don't care what the number is.
I believe it. But at the same time, it was really weird because at HWA, when the truck pulled up and we unloaded, it still blows my mind. I wrestled in the ring that Shawn and Razor had that ladder match in.
Wow.
I physically had matches in that ring.
That's crazy.
It blows my
You
mind.
also wrestled in the same ring as Bastion Booger.
Bastion Booger, Mantor. Yeah.
Mantor.
Yeah.
Now, were you guys in the middle of training session one night when the truck just happened to pull up, or did they tell you guys, hey,
they told us. They told everybody who was green, be here to unload this thing and put it together. Because neither of you guys were at the second HWA building, but it was one of those. It was like an industrial shop, so like it had a large production floor split in half by a wall. One side of the wall was the locker room, and there was actually like showers and stuff in there because it was an industrial thing. So if you were like in there painting car parts or whatever, you could shower. So there's actually like a shower. There was a film room. But then the room where the rings were, that's where the showcase was at the time. Because this is before we had TV. It was basically just like 100 folding chairs in there. But we had to set up and tear down the nitro ring for every showcase because we only had 100 chairs on one side of the ring. And then basically that 20 by 20 was like edge to edge. Like there was literally 6 inches of space on each side between the wall and the ring.
That's tough.
Jeez.
So you could come out of an entryway, get in the ring, and then you look across, and then all the fans are sitting there. But you had to be careful even hitting the ropes because if you hit them too hard, you're going right through the wall.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know really why we didn't upgrade the building after getting all that stuff and getting all that contracts, but it was what it was.
Yeah, you think Vince would have threw you guys a couple G's and said,
Right.
here, get you a bigger warehouse space.
Right. That's what I would have thought too, but it was
They got enough room, pal.
exactly
Big enough
like
warehouse.
there were so many old school guys on the roster still. Like wrestling has to be a suffering siege, whatever.
Wow.
Like in the wintertime, it was fine in there. And I know we got to go to break, but like in the summer, like we had to open the garage door just to even make it tenable to have fans.
They're
in there.
spoiled now.
They're so spoiled
Man,
now.
they have no idea.
AC lockers,
And it goes back to what you said, Kev. They're coming straight out of college locker rooms and they're
Yep.
going right into the performance center.
Right.
They're not working for hot dogs and stuff.
They're not sleeping. They're not sleeping at the rest stop.
No,
none of that.
no.
All right, we got to take a break. We come back. We're going to talk about more ladder matches. I hope we'll see what happens. We'll figure it out. We'll see you in a little bit.
And add that. And Big Kev, right here on 1410 ESPN Radio.
We are card subject to change. I'm Big Kev. He's Big Kimera. He is Sergeant Ledbetter. And we are sponsored by the Rotary Phone. It'll take you like 10
No
minutes.
company, no Mom Bell, or no company. Just the
Rotary
rotary
Phone.
Okay.
We just take like 10 minutes just to dial up your number.
Some of these communist kids make me mad.
We got a $1,200 device here, unlimited data, unlimited text, HD video. They don't remember the days we had the pea soup green or mustard yellow phone in the kitchen.
Oh,
And it was like, do you remember like just calling your like my grandmother, my dad's mom lived probably 6 blocks from me in Detroit.
yeah.
It was long distance to call her.
What?
Yeah. 25 cents a minute.
Wow.
Let me come over to your camera for this.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Here we go. Okay.
He's young.
Oh,
I know about it.
You don't remember that.
Yeah.
You don't remember that.
Dude, he's in his 30s.
No, check this out though, because I remember
No, he's in his 30s.
check this out though. I remember the long telephone that you had in the kitchen.
Yep.
The long telephone.
That cord was like what?
That used to be your landline.
Yeah.
In the other room, you got a cordless.
You had like,
Yeah.
let's see, the living room had a cordless, and like the other rooms had.
Oh, you were the bougies on the block.
Yeah,
You went to the sales mall and got a couple of bougie cordless. That little rotary dial just stayed in the kitchen at the phone because they didn't want to call a hole in the wall.
Do you remember on USA when USA Wrestling on Saturday morning, you could dial an 800 number and either call the wrestling hotline or you could call and talk to Santa Claus and tell him what you're with. You called Santa Claus.
You couldn't do that on the rotary phone because the commercial didn't stay up long enough. You have to hurry up, jot the number down, and then go back over to the rotary phone and sit there and try to dial it.
$1.99 for the first minute, and it was like 50 cents each.
Yeah, please get your mom and dad's permission before you know what that was going to be.
Yeah, the answer is no.
This is always going to be no.
WWE and WCW did a really good job with the hotline though, because they'd cut to the live hotline and it'd be Owen Hart, I'm gonna kill Brett, or what, you know what I mean, like whatever.
Remember Sean, and he'd be like acting like he didn't know how to answer. Remember that?
Yeah.
Wrestling. You guys, I'm gonna kick your leg right out of your leg. I feel bad for anybody who missed the 90s. I really genuinely.
If I could go back, I'd
Peak
go
society.
back.
Peak society.
I'd go back to the 90s.
These kids don't know how good they have it now.
They don't.
And that's why they're all worthless.
Spoiled baby.
Yeah.
The Rap City and TRL and all that.
Does it annoy you?
Everything annoys me.
Does it annoy you when you're at the gym
Mhm.
and someone's on their phone, but it's not for either music or like a legit phone call?
Yeah.
They're just sitting there tinkering around, surfing their Insta and doing whatever.
They're not benefiting themselves.
No.
Because it's like you stop, you rest for 60 seconds, and you go right back.
60 seconds, that's it. I see these dudes on there 3 and 4
Well, what
minutes.
you're supposed to do 60
Oh,
seconds
yeah,
and
yeah.
then go right back into it. These people, I've seen people sitting at the gym, literally on the leg. It's always women, and I see the same women doing legs 5 days a week.
Yeah.
Because they all want to. Yeah, exactly. But they'll be sitting on the leg curl machine for like 7 minutes, scrolling Instagram or
But they'll
whatever.
be the first ones to say something to you. If you just got on a machine, they'll walk up and say, how many more do you have left?
Yep, exactly.
You'll know when I'm done because I won't be here.
Right. So enjoy Instagram.
As soon as I spray this machine,
You're good.
courteous.
That's right.
So you got to spray the machine down and wipe it down and all that.
Go take some
Be
selfies.
Yeah, take some selfies and leave it alone.
All right. The ladder match. It really kind of seemed moving out of the 90s into the 2000s. I don't know what you're doing.
Internet just cut out.
I don't know what you're doing because I'm still on and I'm on the same
I'll
network.
say,
You know what's going to happen.
All right. You're back now, it looks like.
I'm better than ever.
And better than ever.
Hey.
It seemed like, it went from being like this big main event thing coming out of the 90s, going into the 2000s. It was just like a match that was kind of thrown together to get everybody on the card. It was always the same players, but we also look back at that time and there's classic ladder matches like the Dudleys with the Hardy Boys or Edge and Christian.
Oh, yeah.
And it's always the same players, Shelton Benjamin, Chris Jericho, Shawn Michaels, everybody who'd always been on a ladder match stayed on a ladder match. And it seemed like Vince would use that as a device, like a filter, to see who he was going to push.
He used it as a device to see who he was going to push, but the MVPs would be.
I was just getting ready to say him.
Yeah, the MVP, like, and then you get like the actual MVPs of the match, like Shelton Benjamin or John Morrison or somebody like that. He don't want to push nobody.
Right. Kofi.
Kofi, yeah, especially with the with the ladder broken half, and then he used those 2 ladder things just to try to get up to the belt.
Go ahead and cut that promo, man, because when it came to like, and I know I don't want to get into it, like it might be a race issue, but when it came to like, I want to crash test dummy out there to do some athletic freaky stuff.
Yes.
We'll send Kofi out there. We'll send Shelton out there. And the other guy, like you said, is a white guy, John Morrison.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, let's just send John out there so we can do a corkscrew. He can do Starship Pain from the top of the ladder.
Singles run 2010 Christian.
Yeah.
He got thrown into those a lot.
Yeah.
Well, when I was going and studying these ladder matches, Christian won the World Heavyweight Championship, the WCW belt, multiple times, more than I remembered.
Mm-hmm.
But he won 3 times. He won that belt in a ladder match.
True story.
It was him versus Punk. He won it. It was him versus Jericho. He won it there. And it was him versus, I'm blanking on the last one, but he had 3 World Heavyweight Championship wins, all from a ladder match.
Yep.
And then I was watching a clip because I was, you know how the algorithm works. It was JR talking about how he never liked Christian, and that's why he was hesitant to push him.
He said that Christian had like a rat face appearance, and then he put a blue dot over his face.
Said he looked like a rat face. That's what Vince said.
Yeah. Same thing I thought too.
That's Vince logic.
That is Vince
logic. If he didn't like you, pal, then you.
So you're not handsome by the Vince McMahon standard. You got great promos. You have great matches. But you're not like, you don't have the movie star.
Christian's
whatever.
a handsome man, though. I don't understand.
I don't get it either. Right.
Like, he looks good, well dressed, and this good promos.
He's never had bad theme music.
It must
have
been the long hair.
The long hair was bad after a while.
Yeah, he got bad after a while, but then he did the short hair right after the Intercontinental Championship came back, and he won it.
Mm-hmm.
That was a nice invention for him right there.
It was, and even looking at his AEW stuff now,
he's one of my favorite. He's in my top 10 all-time workers. Christian, he is awesome.
Like, he's a dude that I aspire to be that I'm not allowed to be, because all these little kids are so sensitive. Like Christian cutting a promo on Jack Perry about his dead father.
Yeah,
like
crazy.
It's wild. And it's probably not fun for Jack Perry to hear, but the audience took that and ran with it.
Well, not only that, but watch all of Christian's matches. Every single one of them makes sense from a psychology standpoint.
Yes.
His matches aren't the AEW style. And in fact, if you watch, is it 2022 when he was working with Kenny with Twinkle Toes?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Some of Kenny's, I'm not a fan of his work. I think he's
great athlete, not a good wrestler.
You know what? Yeah. But some of his best matches were the ones he had against Christian.
Because like you said, everything Christian did was fundamentally sound, but then it's like, oh, let's put him in a tag, or let's give him a Lance Cade, or let's give him, like, it was
Tyson Tomko.
Right. I know, but what I mean is, like, let's give him a generic big dude. And I think Tyson Tomko is underrated.
I like them together.
I like them together, especially in TNA. That really did something well. But like, I don't get why that was that. But as it pertains to the ladder match, it's like, oh, it just feels like, go ahead and do it.
What, lazy booking?
Yes, because it was the same players in the same match every single time. And some people got over the hump, and some people didn't. And like, to your point about Shelton and Kofi, Shelton, I understand, because the dude was not a great promo and not a ton of charisma, but Kofi could do it all.
Yeah. Kofi Mania.
Yeah.
I loved the Kofi Mania. I loved it.
When he won that title belt,
everybody went crazy.
It wasn't like
nuh-uh.
You know who was like that though? Edge, when he won the first belt. He was
Yeah,
like,
yep.
Well, he was a heel though.
he was a heel, but it wasn't like that traditional, like celebratory. Oh, we just saw a title
And he
change.
cashed
Pop.
in.
Right. But even so, that should have propelled him to the main event. And he was still the transitional guy until Randy Orton got hurt. And then you had to stick him in the main event, right?
Once they linked Edge and Orton against DX, and
Yes.
then it launched Orton kind of going away for a little bit, and now here comes Edge and Cena.
Yep.
It was on.
I'll give you that
It
one.
was on.
And speaking of ladder matches too, like DX went from there and they wrestled. Remember Jericho DX ladder match
Yep.
for the tag belts?
I love
Mhm.
Jericho.
I loved
It
it.
was so good. They
They
probably should
booked,
still be
you know,
doing it.
they booked Jericho so well. They would heat up teams for 3 weeks on Raw. If you go back and watch, they would heat up a team for 3 weeks
Yeah.
and then have them lose at the pay-per-view.
Yep.
And then they do the same thing the next 3 weeks. Here comes Crime Time. Here comes the Hart Dynasty. They went through the whole tag roster. If you go back and watch,
I'm gonna have to go back and watch.
Yeah.
Crime Time was
Oh, I love
it
Crown
was so
Time.
good. The
Loved it.
backstage stuff, stealing Lita's suitcase.
yeah, stealing merch and going out. And
Yep.
next thing you know, they're like, "Where are them guys at?" And then it pops up on the screen. They're outside or they're in the
Yeah.
arena selling merch.
Money, money,
Fantastic, fantastic, and they had such good chemistry together.
Yeah, they did.
They played off each other so well. But like, why do you think that? Like, besides the promo, why was the trigger never pulled on Shelton? Do you think? Because he would have anytime there was a Money in the Bank, it was like he was automatically in Money in the Bank, no matter what.
All the
Every year.
I guess Vince didn't see him as like championship material because he was thinking long term. I thought Shelton was going to be a great champion.
Shelton was always great for the mid card because that was the wrestling title.
Yeah.
Yes. And his matches were
And that was when they were
incredible.
also going through a phase where used to the mid card title would springboard you to the, and then it went to where it's not. Because now here's why. You have so many heavyweight champions, the belt's getting moved quickly, and now those guys don't have anything else to do. So they end up having those guys actually go back and win the Intercontinental, which I hate.
It's like a demotion.
It is. So like Sheamus won the heavyweight title before he ever won the Intercontinental title.
Yeah.
Do you think that some of that's like, all right, let's try to set these dudes up for a grand slam, or what do you think? That
I
or
think
do you
it's
a
we know
legitimate
they're a
demotion?
top guy, but we don't have anything for them. So to keep them happy, we'll give them a mid card title.
I could definitely see that.
Wasn't it like a long time ago where the Intercontinental Championship was like a secondary to the World Championship? So like after you lose the Intercontinental Championship, you probably be like the number one contender for the World Championship.
They did it with Savage. They did it with Warrior, Rick Rude.
Yeah,
Like,
Perfect.
It was like you had that belt, and then as soon as you lost that belt, bam, you're in the main event.
I missed that.
And
Sean.
Sean.
Yeah, because that makes more stars that
And
way.
Brett.
and Brett.
It makes more stars that way. Like, oh, okay.
That's the Vince McMahon, Pat Patterson formula. Once Pat was gone and you started getting old Try.
Old Try.
And also they shotgun the belts more. How many different guys, let's talk about this real quick, from 85 to 95, that 10-year span, how many different people held the world title? 5 or 6 guys?
If that, yeah.
How many people held the world?
Hogan,
Slaughter, Brett,
Warrior,
Flair. Did you say Flair?
Yoko,
Macho Man.
yeah.
So how many is that? 7?
7.
Okay. 7 in 10 years.
Yep.
How many people won the heavyweight title ballpark probably from 05 to 2015?
Dozens.
Dozens and
Millions.
dozens. Now, when that guy loses it, where's he got to go? He can't go right back to the title because now somebody else has got to get a turn.
Yeah, and I think you're right about Sheamus too, because like on paper, Sheamus should be seen as an all-time great, and half the time people forget that he even works there.
He is an all-time great.
He is
Oh,
great.
yeah.
I think he's fantastic. I'm just saying
He's very underappreciated.
the general wrestling opinion, nobody lists.
I don't even
Sheamus
like to use the term underrated. I like to say underappreciated.
underappreciated.
Like
that makes more sense.
Like
You're
that.
right about that. All right, we gotta go pay some bills. We come back. It's a hot tag, and we're going home. We're going to talk about fantasy ladder matches that maybe never happened that we all would have liked to have seen happen. We'll see you in a little bit.
I've already got
This
one
is
right
an
on
announcement to all
Oh,
United
you got
States
one.
vehicle
Yeah.
owners who own a 2003
ESPN Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are hard subject to change. I'm Big Kev. He's Ben Kimera. He is Sergeant Ledbetter.
Let's do it. Let's put the sound clip on this.
We're going to do that.
Let's do the sound.
We're going to do that.
Drop it in the studio.
Oh, yeah, we'll do that.
We're going to drop it like it's hot.
Drop it like
We'll
tell the streets.
You know what time it is?
Tell the streets.
It's dinner time.
It's dinner time.
It is dinner
You already
time.
know what it is.
Kev, who's our sponsor?
Yeah, where are we going?
We are sponsored by the original Swanson TV dinners.
I got a story.
There we go.
No, you go. I'll save mine for the
So
end.
check this out, y'all. The original Swanson TV dinners. I think one of my favorites was, apropos, fried chicken.
Why is that apropos?
Because, somebody going to be like, oh, you don't like fried chicken.
Again, like, it's the dumbest thing ever. I'm not trying to get the
Are black people not allowed to like fried chicken? I like fried chicken. You like fried chicken?
You said to me,
I like fried chicken.
Ben, here's some greens with bacon, fried chicken, a cold Faygo Red Pop, and a sliced up cold watermelon.
Oh, man.
I would.
Can I put some cornbread in there?
Cornbread in there too. Why is that beneath people? Why is that insult?
Can I swap the greens for some baked beans?
Okay. Yeah, beans too.
All right.
Is it the beans with the bacon though?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I didn't say anything about leaving the bacon now. Come on now. Come on now.
I don't understand why that's like an insult or
Yeah.
I don't get that.
People
That's
like to
weird.
do that. And it's like, come on, y'all. Really? It's a universal thing. Stop it.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
So
Is how he-
Ridiculous.
Oh, the Swanson
Yeah.
man. They used to drive around and deliver,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Okay. I had a sergeant in the Air Force get ran over by one of their trucks.
Really?
Yeah, he was like 2 years. He was like in a full body cast by this guy.
God.
Yeah, he was walking out to check his mail, and this guy lost control, went right up on the curb and ran him over and broke like almost every bone in this man's body.
That's awful.
It's
Did he
terrible.
recover okay?
He ended up, slowly but surely, he was in the full body cast.
Yeah, that's like a year's recovery.
It was 2.
or more. 2 years.
Yeah, it was 2 years.
He
to
probably
get-
had to learn to walk again.
Yes, he
and
had
all
to redo everything. Luckily, he
That's
was like 30 and he was able to recover, but
Can't do nothing.
ridiculous.
Can't do nothing.
Nope.
Just lay there.
Not a
Oh,
thing.
no.
Nope.
That's awful.
We used to rib him because he had to have his arms were up. So we used to rib him and tell him he should be a referee
Touchdown.
in the flag football. And every time somebody scores, he could, give him something to do.
Unbelievable. That's so horrible. Touchdown.
So fantasy ladder matches.
He wouldn't call it back like the refs do when the Lions play the Chiefs. He wouldn't be calling that back.
Imagine playing a game against the Lions, knowing it's a physical game and you don't get called for a single penalty.
Not a single
You
one.
can just do whatever you want.
It's terrible. I'm still having I'm still
I
having
don't want to bring
nightmares.
it up because you'll kill
still
the
having
last 15 minutes.
Yeah, I'm still having nightmares. I still have nightmares. But you were talking about booking fantasy ladder matches, and Kev said something in the break. He's talking about the 6-man car crash, crazy wild. I want to start with that.
Yeah,
because
let's car
I want
crash
to
it.
hear that.
Okay, so this is 6-man badassery of all badassery.
Is this the Money in the
here.
Bank?
Yeah, Money in the Bank.
Okay, Money in the Bank's hanging on the line here.
So you got like the past and the present.
Okay.
You got 3 of the Hurt Syndicate.
Okay.
You got MVP, Bobby Lashley, and Shelton Benjamin.
Mm-hmm.
In their primes.
Yeah, in their prime. Yeah,
We're
all
cooking.
in their prime.
We're already cooking.
Yeah.
Bad News Brown, Ron Simmons, and Marcus Corvon. Y'all remember
Marcus Corvon in a ladder match.
Monty Brown,
Monty
former
Brown.
Buffalo Bill.
Wild. So I
So
wouldn't say
who's
it's a
going over
waste
in
of
this?
talent, but
Who's going over in this?
That's a slugfest.
Who are you
baby.
putting over in this?
I would probably have to put Monty Brown over.
So this is 06.
Yeah.
I already got the timeline nailed on this because Marcus Corvon was in
Peak.
ECW.
Yeah.
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 So I would probably have to put Monty Brown over because of the situation that he had, like the situation that he was in.
Mhm.
He had to leave the wrestling business just to take care of his sister's kids.
Yeah, she passed away,
She
right?
got
Yeah.
shot, right? Didn't she get shot?
Shot or sick?
And I think she was sick.
Okay.
But I wanted to do that just to, the situation that he was put in, to have him have a title match.
Do you think he could have carried one of the big belts?
I would say so.
Do you think he needed a manager?
No,
Okay.
I mean he had a strong promo. I mean he did strong promo.
It was like
I would
what-
say so.
All I remember about him, and I probably need to go back and do more research. He's like very much like the Ultimate Warrior. Not in a bad way.
He
in a
was
good way.
he was more like Rhino than he was the Ultimate
Yeah.
Warrior.
Okay. That's a
He
more
was
fair
more
comparison.
explosive. Warrior was more just straight run through the wall, whereas you could tell that Ultimate Warrior never played sports.
Yes.
Right.
And you could tell Monty Brown was an NFL player
Yes.
because he moved like an NFL player.
So if you was to have like Ron Simmons be one of the champions from football, and then you have Monty Brown be another champion for football.
Yeah.
Well, you just named who should be his manager. Ron
Well,
Simmons.
Yeah. Oh,
Later, Ron Simmons as the advisor for Monty Brown or Marcus Corvon. You have
Oh
something.
man, if he would have brought back the Nation of Domination, but he would have not taken a back seat, but if he would have been just like the MVP,
Elijah Burke would have had to find his way in there.
Oh,
yeah.
You know he would have found his way in there.
Burke. Oh yeah, man. Good stuff. 100% with that. That's a good match. What do you
So,
about yours?
I like
Let me pose this to you because this is a more sophisticated question.
Sophisticated.
What feud in the past would have benefited from a ladder match?
Ooh. I would say I would have liked to see. Well, here's a ladder match. Here's a ladder match we did not mention.
Okay,
that I think was perfect for the story, and that was Rock and Triple H at 1998 SummerSlam.
Madison Square Garden.
That was a
good
very,
match.
very good semi-main
Yep.
event to Austin and Undertaker.
And it was good too because it was Triple H was the babyface in that, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
then China ended up low blowing him in the
Yeah.
People's Jewels, and
Yeah.
down he went. Yeah.
That was. A real good
I'll circle
match.
back to who I think could have benefited from one. Let me tell you about this dream tag team ladder match that I want to see. And it's going to take place at In Your House Calgary Stampede. And all these guys are in their prime.
Okay.
And it's the babyface team of Owen and Brett
Ooh, okay.
against Edge and Christian for the
That'd
tag team titles
that'd be
in
great.
Calgary.
I'm
That'd be
sold.
Yes,
That would be
Toronto. They
fantastic.
show up with their Toronto jerseys and they're getting that heat in Calgary. Yeah.
I'm sold. Yeah.
Yeah.
We missed out, and he probably would have aged out of it at this point. But like Owen versus Christian in a feud,
Oh,
Man, would
man.
have been balling.
Loser has to dress like a baby.
yeah, something like that. It'd been fantastic. Hair versus hair,
Yeah, they,
But-
something.
Speaking of who would have benefited from a ladder match when Owen and Brett were feuding,
Mm-hmm.
they would have benefited from a ladder match. Now
I
they
agree.
had them on the house shows as a test. They
They sure
they
did.
never did them on TV.
And then back then, before the internet, if it happened on a house show, it never really happened.
right.
I'm surprised. Speaking of a little sidebar there, you remember when the Rockers won the tag belts from the Hart Foundation
Yep.
and the ring broke, and then
Yeah,
we just
Saturday
pretended,
night's main event.
Yep.
and we just pretended that never happened.
Right.
Okay, we all saw it,
The
but
ring broke.
the ring snapped. It was 2 out of 3 falls.
Yep.
And it snapped after the second fall. Right?
I said, but we seen what was
Yeah.
going on.
They finally released it later.
You can see it on the network.
Yeah.
It's a fascinating match for sure.
It's on the Hart Dynasty, whatever that Heart and Soul
Yeah.
DVD they released.
Yeah.
It's on there.
Yeah,
That's a great DVD.
I miss the DVDs.
Oh, I love the DVDs.
It's so much easier to study. Because
Yeah.
with streaming, you can't you go frame by frame back and forward on a DVD. With streaming, you have to like hit your remote and then hope it doesn't go too far.
Right.
Do you think
right.
that's a lost art amongst new wrestlers now
What?
to, if they have, say, a ladder match coming up,
Mhm.
to actually study old ladder matches?
Yeah.
Or do you think they just go on TikTok and find a couple clips and that's their study?
TikTok is the whole
Yeah,
thing?
I think that
right
is.
I think it's all spot oriented now because, like, I mean, I remember, and this is lame personal anecdote. I remember having wrestling DVDs, and then the girl I was dating at the time in like 2004 got me a portable DVD player for Christmas.
Ooh.
And I burned that thing out in like 90 days
I
because
bet.
I would take this is when I lived in downtown Cincinnati off Hopple. I'd have to pack my wrestling gear bag
That's
with
what Bone Crushers was.
yeah, with my laundry, walk a mile to the laundromat, and I'd sit there with the DVDs and just watch, the DVDs. But you get the documentary, okay, whatever, those were cool or whatever.
Mhm.
But then you get the bonus features, like the Dusty Rhodes DVD set. The documentary was good; it was
Oh, yeah.
interesting. But then you had 3 other. It was a 4-disc
Yeah,
set.
now let's
Yeah.
watch some matches.
Right. You get 2 discs of matches, and there were 2 discs of just promos.
I remember that. I did get that
Just
DVD.
just
the American Dream
yep,
promo.
just promos. And you just watch these things in an endless loop. And it's like, old man Ben is like, hey, study for 2 hours a day.
yeah.
But they'd be watching TikTok clips for 2 hours a day. They wouldn't be watching like a match. And what was great about and say whatever you want about Kevin Dunn, his production was phenomenal. When you watch a pay-per-view match, you get a 3-minute video clip. This is why these two started fighting. This is how it escalated. This is how we got to this match.
Mhm.
It was laid out for you. I've been begging for a certain someone to do that with a video board, but you knew what was at stake when the match started. Like I was watching the match with Jericho and Shawn Michaels. He punches Shawn Michaels' wife in the face,
Yeah,
busts
yeah.
her lip open. just the editing, the music, the sound all around that, it made it look, and for lack of a better word, it made it look scary, like really serious. You know, she's walking up the ramp and she's clearly busted open. I miss that stuff. And the kids now don't get that because all they're doing is like, here's a 15-second TikTok of someone setting themselves on fire and jumping off a building.
What about the in-match promos? You remember those? Like the match would be going on.
Yeah.
And then
Yes. Picture in picture. Yeah.
Video with,
And it would usually be whoever they were feuding with.
Yeah.
Sometimes it would be the wrestler that was in the ring though, which I thought was weird. They didn't do those as often. Normally it was the opponent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I remember it was Farouk and somebody else, and then Ahmed Johnson did a promo. Oh boy.
And that was towards the end of that. They didn't do it much after that.
Yeah. Right.
That was a big thing in the Superstars era, the late 80s, early 90s, and Wrestling Challenge. That was a big thing on that. They would pop the little thing up there, and the Honky Tonk Man would say something while maybe Macho was in the ring doing a number on Tom Stone, you know. And then I was on a podcast with him one time. Super nice guy. He's worked everybody.
Yeah.
He was a jobber everywhere.
Scott Casey.
Macho Man be working over Tom Stone, and then up on the little screen would pop up, and Jimmy'd be like, "Oh, look at Macho Man in there thinking he's as good as you, Honky." And Honky'd say, "Let me tell you something, Daddy." You know, they'd go to a promo right in the middle.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
What would your match be?
So the one I think that I would have liked to see that this feud definitely could have really come to a boiling point with a ladder match is Rick Martel and Tito Santana.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And if
Rick got hurt.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
And they couldn't do anything.
They took the storyline as him going to Paris or something like that for a fashion
Yeah,
week.
it was like 6 months later they linked them back up.
Yeah.
And then there was no heat behind it.
It was sad that he got hurt, but like, and I think too, like before that injury, because that's exactly where I was going next. When he came back from that injury, he was not the same wrestler.
Right.
Like he was very robotic, you know, and I get it. It was a back injury, right? So like, folks, if you've ever had a back injury, even if it's like, oh, I'm just moving my couch from one side of the room to the other, you know, if you tweak your back, you're just like out. It completely changes everything.
Yep.
And but Rick and Tito in a ladder match when they were both at their peak, you talk about underappreciated. Sheamus, Tito Santana's on that list too.
Absolutely.
Oh,
I think Tito is one of the best white bread baby faces of all time. He's likable, he's lovable. I think that the Matador thing I get what they were trying to do, but it kind of took away from him.
He could cook too.
Well,
they always brought up his food. I don't know what
they always make a taco.
burritos. They always brought it up, so maybe he was a good cook.
Why you stop?
Yeah,
and I don't know if he's retired now, but he left wrestling and became a social studies teacher. And is he retired?
He's a social studies teacher. Plus, I think he works as a hairdresser too.
Does he?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
he does conventions.
Yeah. Did you have him at Square Circle?
I almost wrestled him, but he had to.
That's awful.
Yeah, I had him set up to wrestle.
Oh, but he had to leave.
He had to leave.
Oh,
yeah, that was going to be my match.
That's terrible. Was you taking the forearm?
Oh, absolutely.
Clean,
absolutely.
Clean bizzle,
brother. You know,
clean bizzle.
You already know.
Tito.
I put over Duke the Dumpster Drosy. You know, I'm putting over Tito Santana.
You got to. When you wrestle names like that, you just take their half speed finisher. And lay there for 10 minutes like you got hit with a truck.
Maybe he could hit me with that fist to the back of the head. Remember the Cantasaba del Norte, whatever it was called.
Didn't remember that. And then like, if I was to do a ladder match like all time, like throughout history, I kind of want to see. I know this is going to be way fanciful and really stupid. I think Hogan versus Cena in a ladder match for the belt would have been incredibly interesting.
What year?
Only because I think if you took 07 Cena, okay, and 88 Hogan, and put them in a ladder match, and we're booking like 2K now, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think. Obviously, a match between them would be great, like Rock and Cena and Rock and Hogan was. It would be a good match. But if you took those guys and put them in a ladder match and made them physically fight for supremacy, you see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
Like physically climb for supremacy. I think that would be some really compelling, because neither one of those guys could lose they couldn't lose clean to each other and the crowd buy it.
There's an 8x10 events hanging up above the ring.
Yeah, that's it. 8x10.
Climb up, get this picture, pal, and you can win the match.
And I'll sign it for you, pal.
Yeah.
He's gonna
brass ring.
He's gonna puke. But
Yeah.
I thought, I've never seen Hogan in a stipulation match, and I could be just overlooking something real simple. The only stipulations I've ever seen him in is street fight or some variants of that, like the tables with Kidman. You know, so,
he did that Yappy Pappy street strap match against Flair. What was
he
that?
did do that.
Yeah,
and they did First Blood against Flair too.
I want to say,
do you put that in street fight category though? Because
First Blood is not street fight.
I guess you're right. It's not, because I think of when I think of Hogan and gimmicks, all I think of is no DQ, street fight, whatever, and then the steel cage, because it's either the blue bars or it was so overproduced, but it was so awesome. Hogan and Flair with Sherry and Mr. T, and like that was so. It was a hat on a hat on a hat on a hat. But man, did Sherry save that match?
True story.
She was so good. Every match she is in. We'll never see another female performer like Sherry.
She was
Never.
so good because she was a worker first. So she had all the instincts, which are like impossible to, you can't just train a valet to be a valet only, that without, you can't train those instincts that you get from being a wrestler.
And you can't train now, again, some old guy complaining, but you can't train women now to, for lack of a better word, submit to the story. Sherry would just do whatever.
Yeah, she was not afraid to get in there and get roughed up.
I'm going to get bumped. I'm going to get power bombed. I'm going to
Flipped
get
over the road.
Right.
She'd get her dress flipped up,
Yep.
and she'd be hiking her skirt down while she was still trying to swing at him.
I don't remember the match. I remember her taking her shoes off, ripping her nylons off to choke somebody.
Was that against Dusty?
It might have
I think
been.
it was against
It might
Dusty.
have been. You couldn't, I mean, gun to a female performer's head now, you couldn't get him to do it.
You can't get him. You can't even get him to bump.
Terrible.
No, they don't even want
That's
to bump.
true.
That's a whole nother thing. We could go into a whole nother show.
A whole
Me and him have been
other
dealing
show.
with this lately.
Yeah.
And
These
I
women don't even want to bump.
I want to have that show like soon. And Ben, take your medicine beforehand.
What medicine? Fentanyl?
No, not that.
I'll kick out from the fentanyl. This is how much I hate it.
Pulling Missy Hyatt.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll stick my head under the. We got the shower downstairs.
Pull a Sabu.
We got to get the kratom going.
Oh, man.
We're bad people, folks. We're bad people. But yeah, I think, the Cena and Hogan in a ladder match would have been.
That would be interesting.
Here's what I like about it too: the psychology of climbing the ladder between the two of them. Because I bet they could do some really cool false
They would spend
finishes.
10 minutes just figuring out who was strong enough to pull the ladder
Right.
from the other one.
Right. And the crowd would be like
Yeah.
soaking in it.
Yep.
And what I would love to see, because I was fantasizing about this like in my head last night. What if they both took the belt down at the same time?
Ooh.
And had this, each one
What
had
if
the
they
strap.
ripped it in half?
Yeah.
Hey, pal, we'll have you rip it in half.
That would lead to another match.
Yes.
Obviously. But like picturing both of them having each hand on one side of the strap, they pull it down simultaneously, and then they're tug of war on top of the ladder, and that's your finish. Whoever gets knocked off first, bam, is the winner.
And keep it moving like that.
But that's the way to produce that, because it goes right down to the hair. You know what I mean? Like the great finish like that is Hogan and Warrior, because Hogan goes into his comeback sequence, hits him with the finish. All he did was miss the leg drop and take the splash.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Out at 3.5.
Yep. Great like hair finish. You know what I mean? Hair's breadth finish. It was so good. It was so well done. Shout out to Pat Patterson. But it was fantastic. And I just think that's a better way to use a ladder match than to just like, all right, well, this dude can do flips and this dude can do flips. So
Right.
go get him, boys.
Say, have at it. Do what you do.
Enjoy your life. All right. Well, folks, it's almost quitting time.
Almost quitting time.
Join us next week. You know what? Do you want to do another stipulation next week, or you want to have a cheese and wine party? where we talk about how much we hate everything.
Do that.
Wow.
All right.
We can do it.
Let's do the cheese and wine
I don't know if
party.
anybody wants to hear all the bad stuff, though. Maybe do a vote.
All right. Post up on social media. Let us know if you want us to basically cut such a bad promo that we get fired and blackballed from wrestling. Or Kev wants us to get blackballed.
Never.
Make sure you mark down on your calendars. November 29th is our War Games Survivor Series watch along. 2 weeks after that, join us as we watch John Cena's last match together, and we'll all have a box of tissues and be in our feels because, man, he's the last big dude to go.
Ain't that something?
Yeah, as far as top draws, yeah.
Ain't that something?
Who, like, you know,
And then it's Orton.
it's Orton, and but he was a heel for so.
And then it'll be Roman.
Yep, that'll be it.
And he's really a different generation already.
Yeah, he's a different generation, but I think
by 10 years.
for all intents and purposes, I think he's kind of pretty much done anyways.
Right.
Like,
You still doing part-time stuff now.
3 matches a year is not a full-time schedule.
Not at all.
You can tell now because he just put somebody over
Yeah.
clean.
Yeah.
And it's a guy who's never been a champion.
Yep.
That tells you everything you need to know about
It's
what they're
time to
doing
wrap
with
it up.
Roman. Yep.
And it's time for us to wrap it up. We'll see each and every one of you next week for the cheese and wine party. And have a great week, Kev.
Peace.
I'm retired, newly retired. So this was my first